tired of the lies they spin. They're feeding us poison, where do I begin? Every headline feels like a sin. Oh, it's a game we're stuck in, can't win. Barack signed the papers, gave them the key. NDAA took our truth, can't you see? Smithman's shadow, it's haunting me. Propaganda flows like a dark raging sea. They twist the words, make us blind. Realities are lost in their cruel grind. Who's telling the truth? Man, it's hard to find. In this media maze, we're all confined. We're rising up, can't take no more. Truth on our lips, it's time to roar. No more shadows, we'll break free. With every heartbeat, we'll make them see. Together we'll stand united and bold. No more lies, let the story be told. In this fight for truth, we'll find our way. We'll light the dark, bring a brand new day. I'm screaming loud, but no one hears. Drowning in cycles of our own fears. The truth's a ghost, shedding bitter tears. Oh, the anger rises, it's been years. So I'll sing my blues, let the world know. Fight for the truth, let the fire grow. We're breaking the chains, it's time to show. We won't be silenced, we'll steal the show. In the silence, hear the cries, voices echo, breaking tide. Every tear, a story untold. In the ashes, we rise bold. No more whispers, we shout loud. Together strong, we're a fierce crowd. With every step, we take the stand, fighting for truth. Hand in hand, let the walls shake, let the truth ring. We'll write the lyrics, let freedom sing. From the shadows, we'll break away. In this moment, we'll seize the day. We're rising up, can't take no more. Truth on our lips, it's time to roar. No more shadows, we'll break free. With every heartbeat, we'll make them see. Together we'll stand, united and bold. No more lies, let the story be told. In this fight for truth, we'll find our way. We'll light the dark, bring a brand new day.
In the shadows of the night, when the world turns dark, I'm the one who lights the way, like a beacon that won't spark. Through the storms of life, I hold you tight, believing in you until the very end of sight. In every tear, in every laugh, I'm there to catch you. Through the pain, through the joy, I'm right by your side without a doubt. I see you, more than just a shadow in the light. Open your heart's door and let love start to ignite. I see you standing tall, even when you fall. And I see you rising up, stronger than before, never small. When the world tells you to give up and you feel lost, I'm the voice that whispers, keep pushing, don't be crossed. In the quiet moments, when your spirit feels so low, I'm the one who lifts you up, like a gentle healing glow. And the night feels endless and you can't see the dawn, I'll be your whisper remind you of your strength. Together we'll rise up, going any length. So take my hand, let the worries fade away. In this dance of life, we'll find our way through every shadow. Love will light the path. Side by side, we'll conquer all that life has. I see you, more than just a reflection in the mirror. Open your heart's door and let love start to grow. I see you standing strong even when you fall, and I see you rising up, stronger than before, never small. I see you, more than just a dream in the night. Open your heart's door and let love start to ignite. I see you standing tall even when you fall, and I see you rising up, stronger than before, never small.
Yeah. You don't get to look away anymore. Not after what we've seen. Not after what we know.
Can't sugarcoat evil, I refuse to disguise. Truth hit different when you look in their eyes. Little shoes on the staircase cold. Teddy bear stories that were never told. Paper trails buried deep in the vault. Everyone pointing fingers, not my fault. Money moves quiet, power moves slick. Smiles on TV while the system's sick. High walls, black cars, tinted glass. Closed door meetings, let the scandals pass. You say conspiracy to silence the room, but the victims ain't theories, they carry the wounds. We were distracted, divided by noise, arguing headlines, girls and boys. Meanwhile, predators leverage position, protected by status, wealth and tradition. If justice blind, who tied the cloth? Who benefits most when the truth gets lost? If power's clean, then why the fear? When sealed up pages start coming near.
Wake up, no more shadows, no more silence, no more halos. You can't hide behind the fame. If you fed the fire, you share the flame. Wake up, hear that sound, that's the truth breaking ground. For every child who lost their life, we stand up, we fight tonight.
400,000 missing a year. Tell me why the number don't trigger fear. Why the outrage fade in a week? Why the strong stay silent when the small can't speak? Institutions polished in gold, preaching mercy but the record's cold. If you knew and turned away, silence made you complicit that day. Not left, not right, this ain't a side. Evil don't care about party lines. It's about power abused in dark, about stolen futures before they start. Bought rooms, back rooms, private flights, handshakes hidden from public sight. If your wealth was built on pain, history gon' carve your name. Truth don't die, it waits its turn. Every lie got a fuse that burns. When it sparks, don't act surprised. We warned you once, we're done being quiet.
Wake up, no more shadows, no more silence, no more halos. You can't hide behind the fame. If you fed the fire, you share the flame. Wake up, hear that cry, that's a child asking why. For every tear that fell unseen, we breaking chains, we intervene.
Don't call it hate when we call out wrong. Protecting children ain't extreme, it's strong. You uncomfortable, good, sit with it. Truth ain't gentle when it's explicit. If the stage was bright, but the deals were dark. If the laughter masked a predator's mark. If you profited off the broken and small, the reckoning coming for one and all. No more heroes called from lies. No more idols we idolize. Character measured by what you defend, not the image you try to send. This ain't vengeance, this is guard duty. Standing 10 toes for human dignity. If you righteous, then stand with us. If you guilty, start feeling the rush because the tide turning. You feel that shift. No more shielding, the powerful click. Every child worth more than gold. And
we the generation both.
Hold the line, protect the young. No more deals behind closed doors done. If we the people, prove it now, not someday later, not somehow. Love ain't passive, faith ain't blind. Justice required, it's a spine. Wake up, no more shadows, no more silence, no more halos. We see through the polished lies, truth reflected in our eyes. Wake up, hear that sound, that's the system shaking down. For every child who lost their life, we stand up, we fight tonight. We stand up, we stand up, we fight tonight. We stand up.
Hello. How are you? Are you having one of those days? Do you know what I mean by those days? I have those days. I had one of those days just yesterday. I did. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what kind of day it was yesterday. I'm going to tell you right now during this pre-show safety meeting.
The nice cream cake, baby. I'm just letting myself be. Yeah. Mm. Well, today's been heavy, I'm not gonna lie. Too many thoughts rolling through my mind. So I grabbed my pipe, took a look around, and told all my worries, y'all can settle down. I ain't running, I ain't hiding, I just need a little room. Sometimes peace shows up quietly and chases out the gloom. There ain't no emergency, ain't no race. Sometimes you just need a little bit of space. It's an ice cream cake kind of day. Let the heavy drift away. Take a breath, take it slow. Ain't nowhere I gotta go. The world's gonna spin with or without me. I'm just gonna sit right here and let myself be. People ask me, smoke profit, what's the plan? I say, brother, I'm just one old man. Read a little scripture, watch the clouds roll by. Thank the Lord above for another sunrise. I ain't looking for all the answers. I ain't chasing what's out of reach. Sometimes the quiet says a whole lot more than words can never teach. It's an ice cream cake kind of day. Let the heavy drift away. Take a breath, take it slow. Ain't nowhere I gotta go. The world's gonna spin with or without me. I'm just gonna sit right here and let myself be. Now, ice cream cake ain't hard to love. Sweet vanilla drifting on the breeze above. I ain't trying to disappear. I'm just putting my worries in another gear. Life gets loud, that much is true, but I don't have to join in too. One deep breath and a little smile, and life gets lighter for a while. No, sir, I ain't escaping. I ain't hiding from a thing. I'm just slowing down enough to hear the evening sing. The birds still chirp, the wind still blows. Funny how peace shows up when you let life go. It's an ice cream cake kind of day, sweet vanilla drifting my way. Take a breath, take it slow, ain't nowhere I gotta go. One old Marine with a grateful smile, just enjoying this a little while. The world can hurry if it wants to race. I'm gonna stay right here in my happy place. It's an ice cream cake kind of day. No, that's better. Coffee's warm, the sky's looking good, and today's a whole lot lighter than it was an hour ago. That'll do just fine. That'll do just fine.
I'm going to stop that one right there because I want to I have not put these up on the other platforms. I did a couple of songs yesterday. I did 3, actually 4, if you count the one that I haven't put out to you guys yet. Father's Day isn't easy for everyone, and you guys kind of knew that I was going to be in a funk yesterday, and that's why I wasn't going to be on. Yeah, I guess we're beginning the show now, so it's no longer a pre-show safety meeting. It's just a regular safety meeting because, yeah, we just like to be safe. And then I did the ice cream cake kind of song, but then I had to finish the trilogy. Okay, now I did a song quite a while back about part of my life experience as a kid, and it was this one here. You broke the boy, but you didn't break the man. You didn't break me was the name of that song. And then I did one a couple of weeks ago, which was the prequel of my story. And then yesterday I decided to talk about why I do what I do and why I tell my story, why it's important to me to do what I do, not just for your benefit, but for me. It helps me to hold my peace and the legacy that you leave behind in leaving songs like this, and letting people hear and understand. So
Legacy isn't leaving.
So this is the why. This is the why.
Legacy isn't leaving proof that you suffered. It's leaving proof that suffering didn't get the final word. Every song I write isn't about staying in the past. It's about helping somebody else see what was hidden in plain sight, and learning that we can become better humans than the ones who hurt us. Then, legacy of peace. I'm an old man now, with stories in my hands, pages that were written where a frightened child once stands. Moved from town to town, carrying a heavy load, learning how to walk 1,000 miles on broken roads. Some folks ask me why I open up those doors, why dust off memories and lay them on the floor. It's not to stay imprisoned in the things I've been through. It's to shine a little light for someone passing through. I don't sing to relive the pain, sing so truth can break the chains. I sing for people who've never known what hides behind the quiet home. If one soul learns to see what was standing in front of me, and every scar has found its place, leaving a legacy of peace. A child can carry burdens far too heavy for his years and still grow into someone who can rise above his fears. You don't have to become the hands that caused you harm. You can build a safer world with open hands and open arms. The world may never know the roads that some folks walked, or understand the silence and the words we never talked. So I gather up my memories and lay them in a song to remind another heart they're stronger than they know. I don't sing to relive the pain, I sing so truth can break the chains. I sing for people who've never known what hides behind a quiet home. If one soul learns to see what was standing in front of me, and every scar has found its place, leaving a legacy of peace. I don't want my name remembered for every storm I had to face. I want my songs to keep reminding love can still outrun the hate. The little boy I used to be still walks beside the man we see, and every day we both decide to leave more peace than pain behind. I don't sing because I'm broken, I sing because the truth was spoken. I sing so younger hearts may know compassion is the way we grow. We endure, we learn, we teach, we build a bridge for those we reach. And when my voice is finally gone, may peace continue carrying on. Every song, every word, every grace, leaving a legacy of peace.
You know, and that one image, that one image tells so much of the story. You know, look at the trail. You see along the trail, the roller skates. What did I just release a couple of days ago? Song about roller skating. You guys remember? Remember when you were young, and it was when you walked through the doors into a roller skating rink, the rest of the world absolutely disappeared. Absolutely, it just disappeared. Okay. It's all the worries and stripes and everything that you have as a kid from home and everything else. It was about hanging out with everybody. It was, yeah, there was always a couple of people that you would look for, but it was like everybody was just there to kind of be free, and so you got the roller skates, you got the guitars, you got the soldier, you got the cross. Everything traveled through in order to get to that cross, and so the image itself is just freaking incredible. But I want to show you the next thing that I started doing, because people have been kind of getting on my case about it. Hawk, why don't we have T-shirts anymore? All that stuff. Well, I went ahead and I did a couple of different things. Let me open history page here, and because I gotta go to. That's not it. I need the one from the. Okay, this is the place I need to go to. Okay, so I did. How do you see my store? Okay, so this is the Hawks Mustard Seed store, and this is on Sticker Mule. Okay, and if I can get somebody to drop that link over to the other platforms, I would appreciate it. I'm going to pull this up, and so this is one of the T-shirts. I don't think that's big enough. Maybe that you can see that better. Okay, but then I want to show you this other site, guys. Okay, before everybody just jumps onto that one. Okay, I found this site. It's called Printify. Okay, and I think I think I did this part already. I think I already did that. Visit store. I think that's what I have to click. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. Okay, and I'm just getting started with this. I'm trying to figure out how to lay out the images. Okay, some of these are trying to get them to line up and things like that. So this is the first one that I did because somebody said, you ought to have a coffee cup. Okay, so is there a way to make that? Is there a way to make that full screen? I thought there would be, but this is what I did with the coffee cup. So that logo is on there, and then on the other side of it, it's got the barn. And then, of course, the mustard seed logo. Okay, let me go back. So I did the coffee cups, but then I found out that I could do this, and I learned how to edit the pictures using their software. And this is what they did. They took that background off so that on a white coffee cup, that just stands right out. And it's on both sides of the cup. So on the right side and the left side. But then I also, because of finding that, I did this. And this is a poster. Okay, it's got the logo and it's got Matthew 17. He replied, because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Time Jesus. Yeah, so that's up there. And that's like, it's a wall hanging, and it is, you can get them 8 by 10, or you can get them bigger. but I have to load it into the bigger ones. So, and I'm going to do some of the t-shirts that way as well, which I thought was here, but then I had to do this one. And this is the man in the middle. So half of it is the scene, and then the other half of it is the man in the middle said I could come. These ones are the 15 ounce. I'm trying to figure out how to do it so that all the sizes are available and you can pick which images you want put on there. But I figure, with the songs, it for me, I think it's a great way to promote the songs. Because you're sitting there drinking it and they're like, what is on that cup? And then you turn around and you play them the song, and then we got another fan. Yeah. One that we don't have to plug in. All we have to do is just, turn them on to a song. But yeah. So and then I'm working on a t-shirt without the black square around it. With that logo on there. And we can get it in white, gray. The colors are varied, but just let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you want, so like go through the images that we have on the on the song covers and tell me which ones you want, and we'll do those, according to what you guys want. And this site here is, I think this is how you do this. I'm hoping that this is how you do this. Somebody have to click on it to let me know if that's how you get to the store. So yeah, I thought you guys might like that, and it's the idea that yeah, after 10 years together to get a coffee cup finally, it might be a good idea. So yeah, so just send me your ideas, and we'll work on that. And just so that people know, yeah, I still have the hair. I just normally keep it all tied back in a ponytail, so it's really me. Here I'll even give you an even uglier view. Okay, and I shouldn't do this to you because I know that this could be torture. This could be extremely painful for everybody. It's a close up. It's like yeah, I don't like that camera. It's at all. So yeah, I can. Well, that's the thing is through what you guys tell me, we'll decide whether you want one with it on the back or because I was actually thinking about the t-shirt with have the front of it be the man in the middle said I could come, right, but on the back have that scenery. So if I want to have one with a female there, right, that walked that broken road, okay, at the gates with the man in the middle said I could come on the front of the t-shirt, but have a bigger image on the back of whether it's a female or a male based upon your sex, is what I want to do. Tammy says I would display on the front better. Well, it's depending on how your weapon system is loaded. We could make t-shirts that are tailored towards larger weapons. Okay, I'm just saying we can do that. And what I like about the Printify Me, the t-shirts that they have a lot wider selection of sizes. and different types of shirts as well in comparison to Sticker Mule. So you guys decide, you just let me know, which one you're more interested in, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I'll start putting together a product thing. I'm trying to figure out how to do a thing for the songs so that everybody can download them and load them on their own playlists and stuff like that. I haven't figured all that out yet. Once I can get that figured out, then we'll go with it. But yeah, so the Printify I like, personally. They're also a little bit easier on the website to build, what you want. I liked the way that it worked out. So like I was saying, the man in the middle, kind of thing. But if it's it could be the a woman standing there at the gate instead of a guy, kind of thing. So you just got to the work parking lot for a safety meeting. Well, Don, there's okay. Yeah. It's the sign's already lit. If you didn't see it, some people see it, some don't. I should have a sign up behind me that's a light up and just pull the string, with a bell, and there needs to be a bell. We need to have a bell that rings when safety meeting time, kind of thing. So that way then there's no secret safety meetings except for the ones that we need to be secret because they're secret. Yeah. Just saying, there's a lot to it, a lot. So yeah, so those are the two sites, and I might actually have to order one of them myself eventually, because I've been drinking from the same coffee cup for just about 2 years now. So, but yeah, so we got that going. Let's jump into my feed, get that full screen. And let's begin. We're going to start right here. So, Rapid Response put this up. Now, for those of you that don't know what Rapid Response is a direct link from the White House. It is the official White House Rapid Response account supporting POTUS's America First agenda and holding the fake news accountable. So basically, when stories are being reported on different networks, they're not always telling the truth. And, it's in the best interest to sometimes, tell them to take a flying buck. Yeah, just saying. Yeah. Let's see, is this going to be that story or is... Oh, no, that's just music. So, there should be, and because I wasn't planning on reading a whole lot today. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go back to here and go to here. This is an Illinois school teacher.
Again, it's the sanctuary city policies, the dangerous policies of these sanctuary, states, sanctuary cities. Look, she was complicit in the murder of 3 people. And they didn't honor or detain her, release her back to the street. Like I say it again, President Trump has promised the American people he's going to make this country safe again. And one of the ways he's going to do that is remove illegal aliens or public safety threats. So ISIS is going to continue to do their job. But let's be clear, it makes it less efficient. It makes it harder to do that job. We have local law enforcement that won't help us. And it is not the police officer in Chicago. When last time I was up there doing an operation, I had numerous Chicago police officers come up and thank us for doing what we're doing. It's the politicians. It's Mayor Johnson. It's Governor Pritzker that doesn't want. They rather see public safety at risk than give President Trump what they think a win by decreasing crime in their cities. It's ridiculous. Again, it's the sanctuary city policies.
Yeah. So this is an Illinois teacher, okay, that was complicit and linked directly to the Tren de Aragua mass shooting. when they're responsible for people's deaths, they need to be held accountable. And it doesn't matter that she's a fucking teacher. And why are they releasing her? She should be held and deported. All right. Vice President Vance reveals he told the Iranians they better expect President Trump to respond when they trash talk. Uh-oh. What's he telling them?
What we told the Iranians yesterday is when you guys engage in what us millennials might call trash talk, you can't expect the president of the United States not to respond and not to correct the record. So when they say things that aren't true, the president is going to respond to it. I'm going to respond to it. Americans are going to respond to it. When they make threats that aren't rooted in reality, they have to accept that the president of the United States is actually going to set the record straight. That's all that happened. So yes, there was a little bit of threatening, there was a little bit of whining, but at the end of the day, the talks continued and we made great progress. But what we told the Iranians yesterday is...
It's that simple. So all these people reporting that they didn't get anywhere with yesterday's deal, tell them to go fuck themselves because they're full of shit. They everybody's interjecting their own personal opinions. I'd rather listen to the two guys that are there on the front lines dealing with this. Do I trust JD Vance 100%? No, I don't trust anybody 100%. Not a single one. Except my president. Not a single one. Snakes. Who will be saved from the snakes? Those who look upon the brass serpent and believe in Adonai. And honestly, I think that he's been looking at that serpent on the cross that Moses stood up his entire time in his first term and in his second, because he knew that there were vipers all around. So, am I calling JD Vance a viper? No, I'm not necessarily doing that. I'm just saying I don't trust anybody. I have to see something that really shows me that I have a reason to trust you with my life and my future. I have not seen that yet from him. I haven't seen it from Marco Rubio. I haven't seen it from any of the administration. The only person who seems to care about our future, and I'm talking about you and me and those who will watch this podcast at another time, okay, is him. Now Scott Dissent, okay. So I want to bring this into a contextual way that will sort of kind of weave Q into this whole mess of administration that we see. Now, we know that Q has been around a lot longer than JFK. Because, and here's why I'll tell you that, was that there were a large cluster of generals and senior military officers in the White House, if I'm not mistaken, in the Oval Office, that were praying that John F. Kennedy survived. But I want to take this back to the days of Lincoln. Because that's when we got sold out. So how long do I think the Q operation has been quietly working behind the scenes to build this narration that we are viewing, I'm saying this goes all the way back to the days of Lincoln, and then went into full effect upon Lincoln's assassination. And then in 1871, when the corporation was given the keys to the country, excuse me, that's when the original Q members got together and began the battle that we have been fighting since 1871. You know, the enemy brought in multiple weapons. Okay. Think about it. They brought in multiple weapons. Okay. And one of those weapons was the Fed in 1913. And then the media, the corruption of the media, that began before World War I and World War II. Okay. Was quashed a little bit when the Smith month was passed. But there were still tattletales and tall tales and so on and so forth with the Korean War and with Vietnam. You know, they've kept us distracted from what they were doing. So the media's complicity began, you know, right around the same time that the Fed really came into play. Then you've got another arm, which is the financial arm, that is Wall Street. How do they gain so much power? How do they gain so much control of things? Well, that money comes from the crashes that happen, no different than Rothschild did in England. It's the same thing, right? So that's a weapon. So the weapon's against us. The weapon's against us. Okay? And then another weapon crept in 1948, 1949. And that weapon is Israel. Just saying. Not always in our best interest. Part of the biggest manipulation of a lot of our presidents, and a very huge impediment, impediment of our Congress and our Senate. So they've been picking and choosing, the team has been picking and choosing people who will be used for years. Because who did Besant used to move money for? Soros. Besant knew the whole network of that side of the financial world that he is totally disassembling right now. Right? And he's doing it in the name of the Treasury. And then we got this guy, Kevin Warsh, who just moved into this space in the Fed. We got Bill Pulte going into the DNI office, which he's already done. He did that over the weekend. He showed up a day early. It freaked them all out. They were all whining and crying and bitching. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of firings going on there. Is because Tulsi sniffed him out. Now Pulte is going in as the pit bull. Now, I would not be surprised if by the end of Trump's term that Tulsi is back. But I think Pulte's being pulled in as the pit bull. But each person's connection to Trump, whether it be through previous relationships on the political side of the world, gatherings, things that they and I'm talking about those that are close to him. Okay, Dan Scavino was his caddy, and look at where he is now, right? Groomed, trained, all the way down the line, right? And very one direction, knows exactly what he's going for. Okay. Stephen Miller. Okay. Another one, that is very, very strict and poignant on what the goals are. Then they got John Solomon, who's been dropping hints and clues for years and years and years, right? That's a media arm, okay? And then we got, let's see. So Kristi Noem, okay, as governor, she was like one of the few governors who kept their state completely open and refused to allow anybody to control anything on a federal level or mandate anything, right? Attempting to lead by example, right? And then but there's others, okay? There's so many others, but Scott Bessent, in particularly, okay, his skill set in the financial world and the disassembling of multi-corporate, multi-CEO, multi-billionaire hedge funds, everything all the way down the line that have been supplying money to these organizations that have been trying to destroy America for years. He's dismantling this bit by bit by bit. And basically what Trump has been doing this whole time is Trump has been, how there's a narrator of the story. That's Trump's role. He's a leading role, but he is also 100% the narrator, because everything that he says ends up coming true. It always ends up being proven true. They'll argue about it for a few days, and then something happens that proves exactly what he said. And it's like, it's just saying, this is kind of there's a bit there. But speaking of Israel, okay, now you're gonna have to read, because of the fact that he's speaking.
Just target civilians.
Oh no,
they also hide among. No country would do it better. No country would do it better, because the terrorists do not just target civilians, they also hide among their own civilians. They are, by the way, committing a double war crime in doing that. So the question is, what do you do about it? We target the terrorists, but there are some civilian casualties in every such war, in every such urban warfare. And normally, the ratio of combatants to non-combatants killed, non-combatants to combatants killed, is about 7-to-1, 8-to-1. In Gaza, it was much, much lower than that, despite all the lies and vilifications aimed at Israel. But I asked our people, our research arm in the defense ministry, I said, what is the ratio in Lebanon? And they said to me, Today, I just got the document today. Prime Minister, it's 5-1. No, not 5 civilians killed for every terrorist. 5 terrorists killed for every civilian that is harmed in the process. 5-1, unheard of, unheard of. Because no army goes to such lengths like the Israeli army to target terrorists and minimize civilian casualties. We should be commended for it, not condemned.
Makes you wonder. I'm not saying that they shouldn't defend themselves. I'm saying when 2 drones are shot down in the middle of a desert harmlessly, you don't have to knock down entire buildings in Beirut. They could behave better, and frankly, they could do a better job. Okay, but let's go here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this past week has been a shocking one. President Trump produced a ceasefire agreement that seems to have been dictated by Tehran. He and J.D. Vance lashed out viciously at Israel, America's close and indispensable ally in this war. Now, Donald Trump is the only American president ever to have waged war on the Iranian regime. He and Israel had it on the ropes. Their achievements in drastically weakening the Iranian regime have been absolutely astonishing. So why did he suddenly release the pressure, throw away his advantage, and hand Iran the power to dictate events? Ladies and gentlemen, this past week has been a shocking one. President Trump produced a ceasefire agreement that seems to have been dictated by Tehran.
Yeah, and it's, Trump and Israel had Iran on the ropes. So why did Trump suddenly throw away his advantage and hand Iran the power to dictate events? Well, this is the thing is, Iran's not dictating it. Trump is, and the news is helping to put that propaganda out there, and it's disappointing and seeing it in Israel, because Israel doesn't want it to end. They want it to keep going. No doubt about it. So, all right, just in, federal judge Patrick J. Schultz unilaterally blocks DOJ grand jury subpoenas of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and his allies. What the fuck? Impeach and overturn now. Walz needs to face accountability. Walz is not only concealing fraud, but also protecting illegal aliens. The subpoenas had to do with Walz and the local areas shielding illegals. Now judges are stepping in to carry out the judicial coup.
It's very obvious to any honest broker that this type of fraud escalating in Minnesota could have only happened if the people responsible for doling out the money were willfully blind to the conduct that was ongoing in Minnesota. That's obvious to anyone who looks at this with a clean slate. What I would say is this, that if Minnesota is interested in cooperating with us, then they should open their books all of these programs. Yeah. Open the books and allow us to have access to the documentary evidence that we need to prove these offenses. They've not done that. One example is the SNAP program funded by USDA. Oh, yeah. Millions and millions of dollars. We've asked them for those records. They're suing us to prevent us from accessing those records. It's very obvious to any honest broker that...
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So, the White House put this up. The White House will be posting, or will be Q posting today. It goes on and on and on, but there's no image there. And then it says, and by Q we mean quantum. Stay tuned. So, I'm curious as to what the White House is going to be up to today, because I'm just saying something's going on. So high record deportations. Warning, if you're here illegally, leave now or we will arrest and deport you. Yep. So, and then here we go from 1 hour ago.
Well, again, I feel great about the progress that we made over the last couple of days. We're looking forward to going back home. It's been a very long day. I know the reporters had a long day as well, so I appreciate you guys. But look, the fundamental thing we got is, number one, we set up the mechanism to ensure not only the Straits of Hormuz are open, but will stay open. We think about 15 million barrels of oil come out. That's one of the reasons why oil is so low right now. Obviously, that means lower gas prices, and gas prices are going to keep coming down. Number two, we actually set up the right mechanism to ensure the regional ceasefire to manage the inevitable conflicts that will come up. We feel great about that. We're working with our allies, from the Israelis to the Gulf Arabs, to make sure that sticks, and we feel very, very good about where that is. We have the Iranians allowing weapons inspectors, nuclear inspectors into their country for the first time in a long time. We're obviously going to bolster that inspection regime to make sure they can never have a nuclear weapon. And finally, we continue to make progress on these technical negotiations. We left a lot of our team, the Iranians left a lot of their team at the resort there to keep on working at it. So all in all, a very productive 36 hours. We're going to have to keep working it. The last point that I'll make is, as I told you all this morning, this is laying a foundation for what could be a truly transformed Middle East. But we haven't built the house yet. We're going to have to keep on building, and that's what we'll do.
Yep, there we go. So that was approximately 1 hour ago. And then, 44 minutes ago, the White House drops a Q post. 47. Always trust. Okay. So that means we got to go here. You can paint the picture based solely on the questions asked. Be vigilant today and expect a major false flag. Does anyone find it to be a coincidence there is always a terrorist attack when bad news breaks for the Democrats? What is that called? Military relevant how? Barack Obama could not and would not allow the military to destroy ISIS. Why? How was ISIS formed? How has POTUS made such progress in the short time he's been president? Alice in Wonderland. So I'm not sure what direction that's going to take us. Really not. What's today's let's go here for a minute. Let's look and see what today's delta is. How many? 7 posts. Information warfare. Coinky dink? I think not. 4498. Extremely damaging piece on Democrats nursing home deaths. And this is Seema Verma, Cuomo, others, Democrat governors, coronavirus nursing home policies contradicted federal guidance. Use topic as target practice, test your strengths, know your weaknesses, adapt and overcome. Yep. Then we've got 4497. It's got Hiroshima up there with Q on it. Until you wake up, we will fight for you. Take a meme, leave a meme. This is how Anons pass out ammo. Memes, prep. Music, prep. Organize. Unite. Prepare. Q. Music. Prep. Anybody smelling what I'm laying down? 4496, Digital Warriors ready. Surrender to none. Digital Battleground. Where we go one, we go all. This is from the 22nd of June of 2020. Yep. Another one from that day. Every record has been destroyed or falsified and every book rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. George Orwell, 1984. Sound familiar? Yep. Yep. So, with everything coming out in regards to Fauci and everything coming out about the current California fiasco of an election, is this about the virus or the election? Manipulated polls meant to legitimize rigged election results. The election was not rigged. All the polls demonstrated Biden's clear lead across the country. Example, what happens if China successfully duplicates clones, select ballots, battleground states? What happens if coordination exists with select states to deliver printing and paper ballot receipts, secrets, to select the foreign adversaries? Nothing to lose. Logical thinking. Q&A reschedule. Forthcoming. Q. So I think that is going to be interesting. America will be the world's leader in quantum technologies, make America great again. 1 year ago, American warfighters executed one of the most complex and daring military operations in modern history. Operation Midnight Hammer was historic. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. This was put out 2 hours ago. Vice President Vance highlights major progress from U.S.-Iran talks in Switzerland, including a key milestone. Iran has agreed to invite the IAEA inspectors back into the country, the first step toward permanently ending the nuclear weapons program. Everybody is fully aware that Iran will agree to have major weapons inspections in order to ensure nuclear honesty long into the future, President Donald J. Trump. Okay. And it's funny how, how the White House is putting out their own memes lately, right? Okay. Vandalism of statues, fountains, and landmarks. Our nation's capital is unacceptable. The reflecting pool is being taken care of ASAP. And this is, of the many statues and fountains that we rebuilt, renovated, cleaned, and fixed, the only one that was vandalized was the reflecting pool, which is being taken care of ASAP. It has been given a 300-foot long gash. Chemicals have been illegally placed in the water, and the beautiful new grass field has been destroyed with a gigantic 8647 chemically carved into it, probably inspired by dirty cop James Comey. Yeah. So, yeah. So there's going to be some interesting things coming. Yeah. So I'm going to quantum dominance. Are you enjoying the show? Refill your popcorn. You'll love this next part. American quantum dominance. Qubits in control. Yeah. So I'll try to keep an eye on it today. You never know. With me, sometimes I get distracted and things kind of go awry of me having a whole lot of time. And that's primarily the dog's fault. I'm blaming all of you. Every one of you, especially you. Okay. So, breaking, Elon Musk indicates he's suing Representative Ro Khanna after Khanna said Elon needs to answer for 4.5 million kids dying because of Doge cuts. Elon said, time to sue this liar. The reality is that money was being sent to corrupt politicians under the guise of aids. Liars and stock inside traders like Ro the robber should be in prison. The standard applied by Doge was very simple and easy. Provide contact information for the recipients of aid so that we can confirm it is not fraudulent. There you go. Elon's going into maximum fuck around, find out mode. We'll see what happens. All right. And then Tim Burchett put this out.
For unanimous consent to enter into the record a letter of support for H.R. 8096 from the National Taxpayers Union.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ranking member, I'm pleased to offer this as a bipartisan common sense piece of legislation to reduce duplicative programs. Our country's deficits continue to spiral and recently reached $39 trillion in debt. It's more important than ever to focus on preventing unnecessary spending. There's no place better to start than the duplicative programs. Since 2010, the Government Accountability Office, the GAO, has released annual reports and identified more than 2,000 specific actions for Congress and federal agencies to take and address inefficiencies caused by overlapping and fragmented programs. In fact, there's no official count of federal agencies and their programs, but more than 400 are listed in the Federal Register. The Duplication Scoring Act would prevent more unnecessary government by requiring the GAO to review bills reported by committees for potential duplication of existing federal programs. It would then share its findings with the Congressional Budget Office for public release. This will give members of Congress a warning before voting on new legislation that would create a redundant agency or program. Reducing the debt will take time and effort, but the Duplication Scoring Act is a preventive step in the right direction. I want to thank the National Taxpayers Union and all my colleagues on both sides of the aisle for their support of this legislation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People, including a former U.S. Olympian, have now been arrested for allegedly vandalizing the newly renovated reflecting pool in the nation's capital.
Kevin Cork joins us now from the White House with all the latest on this. Kevin, good morning.
Yeah, frankly, and good morning to all of you. This is a sad story because all Americans, I don't care about your political stripes, enjoy the reflecting pool. But as Charlie points out, we're talking about someone who's gone from competing in Olympic-sized swimming pools to being accused of vandalizing the reflecting pool along the mall. And of course, he ends up in cuffs. And apparently, he's not the only one. We're speaking of a former Olympian canoeist, 67-year-old David Hearn, three-time Olympian, by the way, said he was cycling by the monument on Friday. He noticed a piece of the pool's underliner floating in the water, but authorities, they didn't buy his story at all. And now they're accusing him of being one of several individuals of trying to sabotage the project, with a pair of arrests being made so far. In fact, the president said as much in a post on Truth Social, announcing, quote, many additional people have been arrested having to do with the disgraceful vandalism of our beautiful reflecting pool. What these terrible vandals have done is a true affront to both Presidents George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and should be dealt with accordingly. They also poured corrosive and destructive chemicals into the pool. Finally, he adds this: we are very proud of what we have done with this magnificent structure, and we'll get it repaired quickly to an equal level of beauty. Now, the pool, which had been restored to a beautiful cerulean as part of the America 250 celebration, spent years mired in an algae-covered state until the big cleanup. But suddenly we started reading reports of a new algae bloom forming and the peeling lower coating. Critics said it was a shoddy job done by the contractors. Turns out that's not true at all, and now we know why. Now, the cleanup of this $14 million project is ongoing, even at this very hour, but given the fact that the 4th of July is right around the corner, to get it ready, they're going to have to work around the clock, guys.
All right. Truly incredible. Some people just need to get a life. They need to get a hobby. They need to find something better to do. All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. And then this happened. And I'm glad to hear it.
I want to thank all of those friends and colleagues who have been at my side for these past 6 years or so for their incredible commitment, service, and support. I want to thank the brilliant Number 10 staff and our country's extraordinary civil service who dedicate their lives to public service. And when I leave the biggest job in the country, I shall spend more time on the most important job, being the best husband I can to my fantastic wife, Vic, who has been a rock by my side through good times and bad, and being the best dad I can to my beautiful children, who are my pride and my joy. Thank you very much.
You mean a couple of the few children in the country of the UK that haven't been raped yet? Is that what you mean, Keir? Is that what you mean? You're going to have to get some extra security now, and you're going to have to pay for it yourself instead of the British taxpayer doing it. So the wanker is losing his wank. Yep. He's no longer got a wank. His wank has been wanked. Wanked it. Yeah. Just saying. He's been neutered. His balls are gone. His balls. And then, let's see. So, Europeans in the U.S. This is actually pretty good.
Why?
This is crazy.
This is crazy. Look at this.
I'm gonna leave it. In America, a lot better, honey. We've already got 3 items.
I can refill this 1,000 times.
Yeah, but you won't drink 1,000 cups of coffee.
And it's free.
You paid for it. You paid it.
What?
The cheese balls with Mikey's help. No time to cuss.
What?
I ask a medium size.
That's medium.
Ma che medium? Madonna! My entire family can drink from here for 1 month.
This is probably the best store I've ever been. Look at these. These are nice. What is this?
Your pancakes you ordered. I ordered 1 pancake.
That's 1 pancake.
This is 1 pancake?
Yeah, welcome to America. You know, I used to be little like you. Now look at me.
I think we overordered, y'all. This is massive. Tell me you're in America without telling me you are in America. I've just been handed my drink.
All this car stuff. I'm in heaven. What's happening? I can get red, milk, and an air rifle.
So, you saw them at Buc-ee's. Yeah, they've been putting up all kinds of clips, and I think it's absolutely hilarious seeing the reactions. And these are all people who came over for the World Cup, and they're having a blast here. They drank Boston Dry, and basically we're ready to start their own tea party for us. Because the fact that they ran out of beer. So it's like, yeah. So let's see. All right. And John Solomon. Now, we've been talking about this for years, but again, has it been out there on national TV? Well, now it is. Real America's Voice has John Solomon on talking about this.
The United States government, the National Security Agency, intercepted conversations of President Zelensky's government in Ukraine in 2022, late 2022, conspiring with federal workers at the USAID to come up with a plan to take $200 million of USAID money. That is your money, folks, taxpayer money, route it through a series of transactions, move it into the United States, and launder it into Joe Biden's 2024 campaign and the Democratic National Committee. We have the intercepts for the first time. Tulsi Gabbard's team was willing to declassify them. There is now an investigation underway, beginning with USAID, to look at who was involved, whether any crimes were committed, and if that is the case, to refer that to the FBI in the next few days. Those declassified documents up at justthenews.com. You can go check about it today. Members of Congress have been clamoring all day to get their hands on the documents. I expect Tulsi Gabbard to make a statement later tonight on where things are evolving in her investigation. But we've gone from the era of weaponization, where the primary tool was using prosecutors and FBI agents to disable Donald Trump and his followers and all the good people around him, to now potentially conspiring with foreign powers to have an impact on our elections. We had the Ukraine stuff this morning, and remember what we told you 3 weeks ago. Proof from the FBI that China sent thousands, tens of thousands of driver's licenses to the United States with fake names to get fake ballots to vote for Joe Biden in the 2020 election. Those aren't my words. Those are the words of the FBI informant in the FBI documents that we made public a few months ago. So China possibly conspiring with Joe Biden and the Democrats, and now possibly Ukraine. 2 investigations underway. We're going to keep you apprised of that right now.
So this is, I think this is going to be very, very interesting, the direction that this goes. I want to give you this young man and his statement.
Now, I'm going to be a little bit meaner than them, so please don't violate my rights. Normally, I wouldn't come to a city council meeting. I'm one of the county's pains in the ass. Historically, I stay out of the city, and the city stays out of my business. It was a pretty decent arrangement. But then y'all sent me one of these tickets from one of your AI red light cameras you have deemed as necessary infrastructure in your city. Thing about this is I was in Seminole, Alabama at the time I allegedly ran this red light downtown. How can I be in 2 places at once, you ask? Don't worry, I asked myself that too. Outside of Scotty beating me up 30 miles in an instant, the only logical conclusion is I wasn't there. These things have been deemed unconstitutional for this reason, because the enforcement action of 316.0083 unduly shifts the burden of proof to the vehicle owner, me, to prove my innocence rather than the state having to prove my guilt. Currently, I'm guilty by default. I've been convicted by a computer program. Usually this whole mess of who committed the infraction is settled by a police officer pulling somebody over and actually witnessing them in the driver's seat. The AI camera doesn't do any driver verification whatsoever. To get your constitutionally mandated due process, you have to jump through hoops put up by Automated Enforcement Division, a private company in Orlando that's owned by another corporation called Novoa Global, which is owned by a Chilean-Swedish millionaire named Carlos Hofstedt. So not only does this process flow through a private company, our DMV records and personal registration information are accessible by a foreign actor. But anyway, AED sends you this paper, and if you want to fight this thing because you are wrongfully accused, me again, you can't just request a hearing through PPD or the courthouse. Remember, Carlos is involved, so if you have to go through his company, his website, print off his paper, fill it out with enough information to take out a home loan, have it notarized, mail it to the foreign actor, Carlos in Orlando, and then wait for something from someone to tell you about a hearing. This is undue burden even to begin to try to get some kind of due process. Paying is super easy though, go figure. And about that, you can't pay cash. PPD doesn't accept it, and neither does Carlos. According to 31 USC 5103, all U.S. currency and coins must be accepted for all government obligations, fines, fees, taxes, and due. So not only does this whole thing violate constitutional due process, it violates federal law by not accepting U.S. currency to satisfy a government action. Whoever thought this was a good idea is a self-loathing, America-hating, bureaucratic hobgoblin whose pockets probably got stacked with Carlos bucks. You got my attention, though. I'm going to become a more frequent voice down here working to expose frauds and petty tyrants. Congratulations, you all got yourselves a new pain in the ass.
Just saying. Slow, I will show that.
250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. On July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of independence, Thomas Jefferson drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together, we mastered the world's mightiest industries, and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies, and we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel, and then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We captivated the planet with American culture, and now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country, because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of Providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. The golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before.
Yep. That was actually a pinned comment there. Just so you're aware of that. Yeah. It was yeah, they pinned that up. It's been up there for a few days. Went up on went up on March 3rd is when they posted that up. So but this one was posted 12 minutes ago. See, America is back, a kickoff celebration for the Great American State Fair. Joined with neighbors and friends from every state in the Union. A patriotic opening ceremony launching the Great American State Fair and celebrating America's 250th birthday, beginning at 7 p.m. in Washington, D.C. The event will feature military flyovers, ceremonial presentations, performances by the President's own United States Marine Band, the U.S. Army Band, Pershing's own, Armed Forces choirs, and schedule or special music performances by Lee Greenwood and Christopher Machio. I hope I pronounced that right. President Donald J. Trump will headline the celebration with remarks officially launching the Great American State Fair and kicking off a nationwide tribute to the people, their traditions, history, and the spirit that America, the greatest nation on earth. Media RSVP here, general public RSVP here. So it starts on Wednesday, June 24th, which would be 2 days from today at 7 p.m. The doors will open at 3:30. Yeah, I'll try and cover as much of this as I can. But it's going to be, it's going to be running all the way through. So, the golden age. We'll see what happens. But I know that some things have to transpire between then and now, because the 4th of July just isn't going to be right if we're not getting anywhere. You know, so like T-Mobile sending me a message. I thought he was sending me an alert. No, they just wanted to tell me I could get a loan if I get a T-Mobile card. That's annoying. And then I want to go to the main page here. Hopefully this has caught up. Has it caught up? Donald Trumpo says, I'm shutting down the internet. I've dumped some crumbs like this over the weekend, which started the intense shilling. At this point, we are far enough along you can paint the picture without the risk of jeopardizing the operation. Video was 21 seconds long, QPost 21. So if it goes down, you guys aren't going to be able to get a hold of me. Just saying, if the internet goes down, are you prepared? Is your Bible dusted off and prepared for you to spend some time in it? Yeah. Have you downloaded as many of my songs as you possibly can from YouTube so that you got music to listen to? Have you? I don't know. Only you would know. Just saying. All right. Homeland Security says, what a ridiculous claim. The individual who said this was arrested for spraying our officers in the face with chemical agents. ICE agents put us in execution-style line after we were picked up at a New Jersey protest, vet says. After his arrest, he was offered medical attention, which he refused. I wonder if there's any context to this story. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you got to be a subscriber to listen to their stories that are about 5 minutes long. I just want to see if the guy is, the guy's not pictured. So, yeah, just saying. Yeah, I think we need a safety meeting. I do. I think we need a safety meeting. What shall we play for the safety meeting? What would you guys like to hear for the safety meeting? What would you like to hear? Why are you not working? What do you want to hear? Oh, let's just go right here. Be right back.
What's right now? What's right now? You walk in the room with a smile on your face, but your mind's racing all over the place. Got 1,000 things running through your head, and you know you ought to slow it down instead. Well, don't just grab the first jar you see. There's a little bit of science to the TAC. Take a minute, breathe, don't rush somehow. Ask yourself what's right now. Do you need to chill? Do you need some sleep? Do you need a relief that's nice indeed? Do you need a snack? Do you need a grin? Let's figure out where to begin. What's right now? What's your body say? Hey. Are you winding down at the end of the day? Hey. Know the lights if you're ready for bed. Bubba Kush if your battery's dead. Dos when the aches hang around. Blue cheese if you're still moving around. Everybody's different somehow. So what's right now? Northern Light says turn down the speed, let your busy little brain be free. Tie an Afghani on a sleepy ride, like a warm blanket by your side. Then Bubba Kush walks through the door, says, buddy, you ain't working anymore. It's the melt into the couch parade. Cancel your chores that you already made. Need some comfort, need some peace, need those busy thoughts to cease. Don't overthink, don't wear a frown. Listen when your body's talking now. What's right now? What's your body say? Are you winding down at the end of the day? Northern Lights if you're ready for bed. Bubba Kush if your battery's dead. Dos when the aches hang around. Blue cheese if you're still moving around. Hey, everybody's different somehow. So what's right now? Do says I got your back when your muscles start to crack. Blue cheese says grab a little bite, but still keep dancing through the night. Slow reaction, dry mouth too. Keep some water close to you if your heart starts racing fast. Take it easy, let it pass. Everybody's chemistry works a little differently. What's right now? Listen to yourself. Not every jar belongs on everybody's shelf. Some are sleepy, some are light, some are daytime, some are night. Take it slow and you'll find out how to choose what's right now. What's right now. Oh, what's right now. What's right now. Hey, everybody's different somehow. So what's right now? Hey, ask your body what's right now. Hey.
I had a lot of fun writing that, and I'll tell you why. In all the years that I've been, in the cannabis industry and growing for patients and being a patient and learning what all of the strains do for you, okay, I was able to take that knowledge and put it into a really fun way for people to learn. But at this point here, I'm going to annoy the crap out of you, and I'm going to give you a second song because I didn't go to the bathroom during the last song. I was having the safety meeting with you guys, and when you got to safely stay together during a safety meeting, okay? You got to safely stay together, okay? So that and I knew I wouldn't be back in time, so I'm going to take and give you guys another song to keep you busy while I go take care of business, because this one I don't have to stick around for. I'll hear it outside. Yeah, I said it. Okay. All right. Let's go skate.
Yeah. Before the world moved indoors, before every screen lit up, before everybody stopped talking and forgot how to show up, there was a place every weekend where the lights would come alive. You didn't have to be somebody, you just had to arrive. Popcorn in the air, leather skates on the floor, laughter bouncing off the walls, and music through the door. The DJ dropped that bass line, and every worry disappeared. For a few little hours, life became clear. The groove was the glue that held us all together. Black and white hippies and farmers, it didn't matter whatsoever. Nobody came to be seen, everybody came to belong. The groove was the glue, and somehow we all got along. Hey, hand-me-down jeans and plain white t-shirts, church kids dressed up neat, the talented skaters helping newcomers, everybody sharing the beat. The girls would laugh, the boys would dance, nobody cared about being cool. For a few little hours every weekend, that skating rink became our school. We learned kindness, we learned patience, we learned how to share the floor. And somehow life felt bigger by wanting less and giving more. There weren't any followers, there weren't any likes, there were just real people living real lives. The DJ dimmed the lights for the last 3 songs, and somehow for a little while everything belonged. Was the glue that held us all together. Nobody trying to be famous, nobody chasing forever. Nobody came to be seen, everybody came to belong. And every time I hear that funk, that old world still lives on. The groove was the glue. The groove was the glue. For a few little hours, everything was where it belonged.
Sometimes I think we weren't skating in circles. We were building a community, one song at a time.
The groove was the glue. Now, why did I take that particular wording with that? Okay, well, the reason being is that it didn't matter what the DJ was playing. It was about the beat, the vibration, the frequency of it all. And we definitely lost that in the 80s and in the 90s and in the 2000s. Where we enjoyed being around each other. Now everybody enjoys being on their phone. Right? Just saying. You know, it's but see, I remember the first time I went skating was the metal. They were metal plates that hooped around the front of your shoe, and you had to tie the straps across for them to be attached to your shoe. But then when we moved we moved to Salt Lake, and they had shoes, skating shoes, and so you didn't have to do that. And if you had your own skates, you were well to do. Okay, everybody was jealous because you had better skates. Because let me tell you, them things smelled. It was no different than bowling shoes back then. Okay, and when they talk about the spray that they would use, okay, every time shoes would get turned in, they'd spray them before they put them on the shelf. Let me tell you, that did not kill the odor at all. It did not. And you always wore like 2 or 3 pairs of socks, and you always got a shoe that was a size larger than you would normally, or a half a size larger than you would normally get, because of the fact that you had 2 or 3 pairs of socks on, because you knew that you were going to end up throwing the outer pair of socks away, and you might have to throw away the second pair because they'd get the odor, and then you'd get in trouble for having stinky socks in your bedroom. Just saying. Just saying. You know. So Praying Medic took this White House will be Q posting today. And what he decided to do was look at it this way. You are learning how many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible. Wait until you learn who has been talking to you here. Q. Does that mean we're about to find out? There's, so nearly 300 deportation flights took off in May alone. That set it off into this turbulence that's been going, because they're still kicking them. They're still kicking them. So, central casting. Well, let's go there.
KLF is going to rock you.
I'm going to mute that because the music. Do you see what I see? That's pretty much just looking at it and saying, is it a mask? Great movies are created with great actors. I'm just saying. I can't play this because of the fact that it, well, actually, I'm not sure, can I?
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be part.
Rebuild Penn Station.
Start spreading the news.
So I have a feeling that this is going to lead to a okay, let's go here first. So this was the video was put up by Secretary Sean Duffy, is the Secretary of the U.S. DOT. Okay, attention, New York City, the wait is finally over. The Knicks are champions, and Penn Station is getting a glow up it deserves. Decline is an option, but no one we're talking, or no one we're taking. Sure what that means. So actually, I do want to go back to that, because this girl posted, this is the train that was supposed to go from for California. This was the high-speed rail. Why are you talking to Scott Bessent or the Secretary of the DOT about this when it is the governor of California that stole your $79 billion for this project? Sandy Frazier, you're MAGA, but wait a minute, back up, because this was for California. They were given the money for this. So don't be getting on him for that. That's not this guy's fault. He just got there. He's been there for less than a year, and look at what he's done already. He's getting them tractor trailers off the road. Trump is signing something.
Would you like to Berkeley and MIT?
To get this to the beginning of it.
Before,
because you know me, I don't like
the federal government technology.
Okay, let me go up here.
As a member of the Commerce Marketplace,
I can go back to here, and so we don't miss anything. All right. So this is President Trump. He signs executive orders June 22nd, 2026.
Strengthen America's place as the world leader in this very important emerging field. I want to thank Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, who's with us, Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, Secretary of Energy Chris Wright, Director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy Michael Kratsios. Thank you, Michael. Director of OMB Russ Vogt, who's cutting the budget by probably 40 to 50% this year. We're going to end up with a balanced budget. And National Cyber Director Sean Cairncross. And I appreciate all of you being here. Thanks as well to Chief Technology Officer of the United States, Dr. Ethan Klein. Ethan, thank you very much. Director of the National Quantum Coordination Office, Dr. Brad Blakestad, and Chief Information Officer of the federal government, Greg Barbacia, for joining us today. Thank you very much, fellas. It's great. We're also honored to be joined by Google President Ruth Porat. That's a big position. Okay, Google President. That's as big as being president of the country, I think. That's pretty big. There aren't too many. IBM CEO Arvind Krishna, who's a great man, who's a really great job. What a job you've done. I used to have that stock when it was much, much lower. I brilliantly sold it when I became president. That was not a good move. And Inflection CEO Matthew Kinsella, as well as Nobel Prize winning quantum physicist John Martinez. Great going. Should you tell him how many years ago it was?
Well, about 40 years ago.
It's pretty good. And you still look good.
Thank you.
Great job. I've been waiting for one of them too. They don't think 8 wars is enough. You know, I have to do 12 or 13, I think, even though nobody's ever done one. Quantum technologies represents the next generation of innovation across computing, sensing, and networking with enormous significance for our country's economic growth, scientific research, and cyber security. It's really a big deal that we're doing today, and the country is doing really well, as you know. In 2018, I signed the National Quantum Initiative Act into law, which led to doubling the federal government investment in quantum research and development. I think you all know about that. That helped unleash billions of dollars of private investment in America's quantum industrial base, promoting significant scientific and technological progress like we've never seen before, actually. We want to keep that positive momentum going in America with the orders that I'm signing today, and these will really have place it a big step forward. We're already the leader by a lot, and we're going to be now the leader by a lot more. The first executive order launches a national effort to produce a quantum computer capable of performing important scientific calculations and to develop quantum-enabled sensors and networks in the next 5 years. And we're going to be investing in American quantum leadership like never before to stay ahead of the pack. We're way ahead right now, and we'll keep it that way. The second order I'm signing directs federal agency to transition to what is called quantum cryptography. Do anybody know what that is? You're going to hear very soon, so you're going to find it interesting. Cryptography for their computer systems by 2031, and to lead the way for wider adoption of these extremely strong security standards. America is celebrating 250 years of ingenuity, innovation, and invention this year, and today's commitments to quantum leadership will help secure that legacy for decades to come. I just want to say before we introduce a couple of the people, we're doing very well with respect to the Hormuz Strait. We took in more oil yesterday than has ever gone through the strait. You probably see that we have an oil gusher. The strait is totally open. You know that, and we're negotiating. We'll see how that all goes. But we have two things: we have an open strait, and we have a country that will never have a nuclear weapon. Will never, ever have a nuclear weapon. So now I'd like to invite Michael Kratsios, Director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy, to say a few words, followed by National Cyber Director Sean Cairncross and Secretary Wright, who's doing a fantastic job over in Venezuela and every place else he touches. Venezuela, by the way, has been amazing. We are really having a great relationship with that country, taking out tremendous amounts of oil. Far, far more than that particular war cost, many, many times. Sending it to Houston, sending it to Louisiana, sending it to lots of places. And Venezuela is also doing well. Venezuela is doing better than it's done in maybe ever. So it's been an amazing situation. Where did you ever hear of getting money back from the war by 42 times over, right, Pete? Nobody does that. And I think Iran, I can say on a sort of a different scale, is in its own way working out very well. Maybe it's hard to say just as well, but maybe almost just as well. And we're doing very well in terms of negotiating a fair and reasonable deal. One of the things that we are doing also, and it came up last night, is money that's being unfrozen is going to be used to buy food, and the food's going to be bought exclusively through the United States from our farmers. And corn, soybeans, all of the things they need are going to be bought from our farmers. So our farmers are very happy. I've had a lot of calls. They were very happy about that. So now I'd like to ask Michael to say a few words, and we'll follow up by the other two gentlemen, or three gentlemen, and then if anybody has anything to say, and we'll take some questions at the end. So Michael, go ahead.
So, Mr. President, as you mentioned in your remarks, you were the
Is there
first
anything to
president
say,
to prioritize quantum as a scientific priority of the United States government in your first administration. And since then, there's been a big leap in the investment the private sector has made in this particular domain. And we're now at the moment where a lot of that research is starting to pay off into commercial applications. And what this executive order will do is turbocharge that. First and foremost, it's going to task the Department of Energy to create a scientifically relevant quantum computer, which is going to help pave the way for even larger computers for the private sector. Secondly, we're going to be focusing on sensors and networking. So agencies like the Department of War, along with the Department of Energy, are going to be doing a wide variety of sensing and networking work. So this is a big step forward, and as one of our two top science technology priorities, we're excited to kick things off today.
Good. Thank you very much. Good job, Michael. Sean, please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. You continue to be the most forward-leaning president in innovation in American history.
Is that all?
That's right. But no, and while you recognize the tremendous potential quantum has to advance medical research and cryptography and improve the lives of American people, you also recognize the security implications. As quantum rolls forward, it will challenge public key cryptography, which is what secures everything. It secures our financial transactions, our civilian critical infrastructure, and it secures the digital systems that Americans rely on for their daily life. And these two executive orders, which pair innovation and security, will address those issues. As we move forward, innovation and security have to be balanced. You recognize that. The actions that you take today will make sure that American systems are trusted and secure and safe moving forward. And I just want to thank our tremendous American companies with whom we've been working so closely. I think it's fair to say we have an unprecedented relationship in this. I want to thank our colleagues in the interagency who have been tremendous. Such a mission-focused group of people. And obviously none of this happens, sir, without your leadership. So you're securing our systems for generations to come. Thank you.
And you've done a great job. Both of you have, actually. Chris Wright, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. So 141 years ago, Albert Einstein, 121 years ago, Albert Einstein published a paper.
Nobody cares.
Good point.
And usually they won't catch you.
Published a paper on the photoelectric effect, recognizing the quantum behavior of light, that it came in quanta. 40 years after that, President Trump's uncle, John Trump, was a pioneer in applying light radiation and the reflections of it to develop radar at the MIT Radiation Lab, critical in D-Day, critical in the end in winning World War II. That's the parallel of quantum innovation. 40 years after that, John Martinez down there pioneered taking quantum effects and building them into a device to capture that behavior. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics just last year for that discovery, that breakthrough. But 40 years, quantum phenomena are tough to harvest and tough to work with. But here we are, thanks to President Trump's leadership in the first term with Director Kratsios, to launch a major national effort on quantum. This is taking it to the next level. The future of computing is going to be a three-legged stool. High performance computing, basically Moore's law in semiconductor manufacturing. It's artificial intelligence that everyone's seeing and hearing about that's supercharging it. The third leg of that computing stool is going to be scientifically relevant quantum computing. This is tricky. We're not there yet. We're close. But with this executive order and this coordinated effort, we will have scientifically relevant, meaning error-corrected quantum computing during this administration. The impacts of it will be tremendous.
Just if I might, so with respect to the Strait, Hormuz Strait, a lot of oil pouring out, right?
A lot of oil pouring out. Despite Iran's efforts or pushback, we are flowing oil through the Strait of Hormuz and natural gas at pre-crisis levels. We could get to above that. We will get to above that, but things today are going very well, thanks to the U.S. military and Pete Hegseth down the line here.
And 2 days ago, we set a record, most ever taken out of the Strait. It's pent up, but it's a record. Did you know of my uncle at all?
No.
You did?
No.
Sorry. Oh. You missed a good bit.
I'm
Would
at
you like to?
Berkeley and MIT.
No, but MIT's great. Howard, do you want to say something? Yeah.
So you're accelerating quantum with this CEO, continuing to push America forward. Now, I have the honor that John Martinez was a member of the Commerce Department at NIST, and he's a Nobel Prize winning alum, which is, if you don't think the people in the Commerce Department and in NIST are the best, I mean, here's an example. Nobel Prize winner who was part of our team. You all know that the government invested $2 billion just a couple of weeks ago in quantum to drive it forward. And besides investing in the companies, we've also invested in fabs to build quantum for others so we can manufacture these quantum in America. They have Ruth Porat from Alphabet. They are doing amazing investing in building quantum. And you have Arvind right next from IBM. We invested in his fab. He's got a leading fab, so he's going to be building those chips, right? So that's that idea. And then lastly, post-quantum cryptography, right? Once you have quantum chips, we've got to protect everyone in this government, post-quantum cryptography. So NIST and the Department of Commerce is going to lead the charge to make sure all of us are protected and defended. So we know how to deal with quantum when it comes. We're going to lead in quantum, and we're going to make sure we stay safe. And these are both the things you're signing today. And that's why you have such an amazing team behind you, because you are leading the charge in quantum for America.
And Ruth, would you like to say something?
Well, thank you. First, thank you so much for convening us for this important meeting and these two executive orders. We completely agree. Quantum is a breakthrough critical technology. The U.S. is in the lead. We will stay in the lead. At Google, we're really proud of our innovations, and thank you, Secretary Letnick. We've been investing for more than a decade in quantum. And back in 2019, we were the first company actually to achieve quantum supremacy. Didn't stop there. About a year and a half ago, we unveiled a new chip, the Willow chip, which is a great example of American innovation manufactured here in the United States. And what the Willow chip does, it enabled us to do a computation in less than 5 minutes that previously on the best supercomputer would have taken 10 septillion years, which is 1 to 25 zeros. So
That's pretty good.
It's a lot. And what's exciting about this is what it means for our children and grandchildren. It's about medical breakthroughs, nuclear fusion, material science. So we're really excited about the opportunity. And then also around post-quantum cryptography and the work that we're doing there. Absolutely critical that we also keep America safe, everyone safe. So we have been deploying that across our products and services. And it's a critical opportunity. I think with these two EOs, it lays the foundation for one, protecting America, as well as continuing to benefit on the upside. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Say hello to everybody.
Absolutely.
Arvin, please. IBM.
So first, I'd like to thank the President for both of these EOs. The role of the government is often underestimated. The role of the government in pushing innovation and technology forward is what both of these will achieve. Asking for the investment in quantum computing, asking that the departments all work together will actually accelerate what industry does, because that gives us the confidence to invest even more. And that is what we commit to do, to get these systems out and to get what both the secretaries asked for, to get the systems out during your current term. So we will go and invest in doing that. And I'd also like to thank Commerce for the investment they made in accelerating the ability to build fabs so that we can actually make these in America.
Good. Thank you very much. Would you like to say something, Russell, about how well we're doing on the budget and things?
Well, we're making tons of progress. I think last year you had the most fiscally consequential year in history, a story that's largely been unwritten. But today, this is
They don't want to
about-
write it. They don't want it. It's true. Go ahead.
More savings.
You might
in
as well
history.
say it because they will.
More savings than ever before in history. Today is about the investments that we're going to prioritize. So we'll save in places, but we're going to do what's necessary to invest in the future and industries of the future. That's what today is about. Quantum is one of those areas in the first term and now in the second term.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Any questions, please?
Treasury lifted sanctions on Iranian oil today, sir. Treasury lifted sanctions on Iranian oil today,
Well,
sir.
I'm going to have to find out exactly the status, but if the sanctions go out, money's going to be put into this country. All that money's coming back in the form of purchases of food, which they desperately need. They have 91 million people. They can't feed them. So the money that we lift is going to go to our farmers, largely to our farmers.
Can you ensure that the Iranians won't use profits?
I'm going to pause this just for a minute. All right. And the reason that I'm doing that is because there was a question asked and I typed in about 12 times and it would not let me answer the question. So somebody said, why is Lutnick always so close to the president? Okay. Well, I think there's two reasons. One, I think Donald Trump's got him on the hook for 9/11. Okay, and all the money that came out from the funds, the Twin Tower funds. You keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer. Okay. Does that answer your question? So Trump knows about Lutnick's association to Epstein. He knows about his association to all the big major hedge funds in New York City, right? He's an open book in regards to every corporation in New York City and in other locations as well. We're talking worldwide. Okay. Would you not take advantage of his knowledge? Yes. Would you be mindful and watchful and very tailored as to what he is allowed to talk about, what he's not allowed to talk about? Yes. See where I'm going with this? So, just keep that in the back of your head when you see these guys that are close to Trump. Is there something more to this? Is there something else? Is the reason that he is always right behind Trump? I think that it is probably something to do with September 11th. But all of this has to come around. It all has to, all of this stuff has to come through. So, all right, let's keep going.
From oil sales to rebuild their military. Just
Well, they're
prepare
not
for the
supposed to
next
be doing
conflict.
that, sir. We'll see, but they're supposed to use money to buy food for their people, because right now their people are very hungry, and they're buying it exclusively from us. Corn, soybeans. There should be a lot of money. I hope it's a lot of money.
If the war with Iran could cause a worldwide depression, as you noted, Mr. President, are you willing to risk economic catastrophe and strike Iran
Well,
again?
not the way I'm doing it.
Not
It's
the way
not
you're-
going to cause depression.
Yes, but if they don't abide by the
Well,
memorandum of
nuclear
understanding.
weapon supersedes depression. Depression is real bad. Nuclear weapon will cause depression much more quickly. The way we're doing it, we have the opposite of a depression. We're doing really well. The numbers are incredible. The oil is at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Oil prices are way down. I think they're very comparable to what they were, Chris. I don't know, pretty comparable to what they were before we started.
They've returned most of the way back down.
So if Iran does not abide by the MOU, are you still
When I
willing for
didn't
strikes?
say
And
it
does it
would
give you
cause
leverage?
a depression. I said it could cause a depression, right? And they said that I don't want to be Herbert Hoover. That's a president I don't want to be, because he was in charge during the Great Depression. And certainly a lot of bad things could happen. That would be one of the things. I don't think it would, but if it did. But no, if Iran doesn't live up to their agreement, or if they're not behaving, I will do what I have to do.
Does that give them leverage over you, Mr. President?
Say it?
Does that give them leverage, the Iranians leverage over you?
Oh, you're so leverage. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their leaders are all dead. Their whole country's a mess. Their economy is shot. The Times, the fake New York Times said, oh, it's about the same as it was 4 months ago. No, 4 months ago they had a Navy, 159 ships to be exact. It's gone. The whole Navy's gone. Their 250 airplanes, all gone. Their anti-aircraft is gone. Their radar is gone. These guys love radar. Their radar is gone. Everything's gone. Their leaders are gone. Their whole country is gone. And the Times said, oh, they're about the same as they were 4 months ago. The reason the news is doing so badly, or let's put it another way, the reason that I won in a landslide, even though I got 92% negative press, all fake press, is because nobody believes the press anymore. And they have to start believing. When the Times and a couple of others, they're grasping for straws. When they say that Iran is about the same as it was 4 months. 4 months ago, they had a powerful Navy, they had a powerful Air Force. Most of their missiles are gone. Most of their launching pads are gone. Most of their manufacturing capacity for drones and missiles is gone. About 87% gone. And then I hear, oh, they're in such great shape. No, they're gone. And their first level of leaders, gone. Their second level of leaders, gone. Their third level of leaders, you have to hear the conversations. Who wants to be president? Well, I don't want it. Nobody wants to be president. And then we have to read that they're doing well. They're doing so badly. In the meantime, we're setting records. We have the strongest economy we've ever had. We have 18 to 19 trillion dollars being poured into our country. We're building factories all over the place. We have more people working today than at any time in the history of our country at higher salaries. So when you ask a question like that, it's so stupid.
Here's another beauty. Watch this one.
Well,
Is it real
earlier
beauty?
today, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his forces are not leaving Lebanon. That is a sticking point
What
in
did he
these
tell them to
conversations. He said it publicly in Israel
Well, we're
today.
going to take a look at it.
Well, what would you do to make sure that he doesn't
Well, I'm not going
sabotage
to
the
tell you
deal?
what I'm going to do, but it gets solved. I'm a problem solver. I get problems solved real fast, including with Bibi. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. What's the latest you've heard from the Vice President? Are you happy with his negotiations?
Yeah.
And can you share a little bit about what Secretary Rubio will be doing in the Middle East this week?
I think that they're doing a fantastic job. Our secretary is fantastic. I think he's maybe going to go down as the best ever. And I thought J.D. Vance this morning was fantastic. I watched his news conference and from Switzerland. He's a very smart guy. He did a great job. You know, when I look at the Democrats, I call them the Democrats. They're dumb. The Democrats. When I watched that, where one of them thought it was World War XI. She said World War XI. She meant World War II. You know about that, right? This is one of their potential leaders, Ilhan Omar, who married her brother to get into the country, by the way, illegally. But when I watch AOC, have no idea on a simple question, what happened when she was over in Switzerland, which probably never went there before, but she was. And then I watch somebody like JD or Marco. I said, what a difference.
Like Elon Omar. And he turned his head to the people behind him and said, she married her brother to get into the country. I'm sorry, guys. This is...
What a difference. What a difference a brain makes.
Mr. President, sir, you've been quite critical of Prime Minister Starmer, and he's now resigned. Your thoughts, and who would you like to see as the next Prime Minister of the UK?
I was critical only from the because I think he's a lovely man, but I said you're really messing up energy. You have windmills all over the place. In the meantime, you have the North Sea oil, and they won't let anybody drill. It's one of the great fields in the world, and they haven't even found most. You know that the UK buys much of its energy. You know where? Norway. You know where they get their oil? The North Sea. The UK has a much better portion of the North Sea. They don't want to do it for environmental purposes, okay? And I told him he's a very nice man. I mean, sort of a friend of mine. I mean, he was not good to us with NATO, Pete, right? He said, we can't use the island to land. That was the first. For a couple of weeks, he said, well, but ultimately I gave it to you. Now, that was a bad move. That hurt him badly. But I mean, I wish him well, but he's got two problems: energy and immigration and crime. But energy and immigration. I mean,
you have a preference on the next one, sir?
And he's really hurt himself very, very badly. Please go.
President, can you tell us about your meeting with the defense contractors on Wednesday and what you plan to tell them?
The meeting coming up, because I've met with them before. We're building plants all over the country. They are not allowed to take any more stock buybacks. Do you do stock buybacks by any chance? Not too much, right? You know, because you want to invest in product. It's just an artificial way of raising a price if you're running a bad company. So they spent $51 billion on stock buybacks instead of spending them on plants. Now they can't do that anymore. Now they are spending a lot of money. We're building many plants throughout the country. They're dealing with General Motors. They're dealing with Ford. But I know General Motors is all excited about building weapons now. They have some plants which are going to switch over. We're going to build weapons, including the Patriot, including the Tomahawk, and lots of other things. And we're really in a big, strong economic push to do the weapons. And some of the car companies, if they have any excess capacity, they're making a deal to build missiles and the Patriot in particular. We have quite a few of them, but we want to make sure we have always a lot of them.
Mr. President, the candidate that you endorse.
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations on the quantum physics EO to all of you. Vice President Vance said that there are mechanisms in place to make sure that there's not escalations with the Strait of Hormuz and with Israel and Lebanon. Can you talk about what those mechanisms are, and are you in direct talks with the Supreme Leader?
Look, here's the thing. As long as they respect us, I don't want to use the word fear because that's an inappropriate word, but as long as they respect us, we're not going to have any trouble. We have total control of the strait.
So the mechanism is.
You know, we have a Navy that had a blockade. I think the blockade was more impactful than dropping bombs, if you want to know the truth. It was like they call it the steel wall. Nobody got through. Not one ship got through, able to go to Iran. They got through if we wanted them to go through. And we could set that up again in about 15 minutes. I would say, Pete, one phone call. How long would it take? Maybe half hour?
They're ready to go right now if you need to. Yes, sir.
It'll be before we finish the meeting. No, we have, as long as they respect us, we're going to be fine. If they don't respect us, things wouldn't be good, but they have a lot of respect. Don't forget, we had presidents that should have done this for 47 years. Nobody did it. Obama gave them a road to a nuclear weapon. I gave them a wall against a nuclear. They can never, under this agreement, they'll never even think about building a nuclear weapon.
Mr. President, on Colombia, the candidate,
El Tigre.
Abelardo del Espriella, we know that you had a phone.
I endorsed him. He was in 10th place. I endorsed him, and he won the election.
Yeah, we know that you had a
no
phone,
different than this country.
you had a phone conversation with Abelardo del Espriella in the last hours. What can you tell us about that phone conversation, and what do you see, what do you anticipate?
You're from Colombia?
Yes, sir, I'm from Colombia.
So he called,
Cartagena, great city.
He called me last night, and he thanked me for the endorsement. He won. He won the election. He wasn't anticipated to win, but he won, and he won handily. It's just an honor. He was just a good man. I'd watch him a little bit speak, and he always speak. You know, when people like me, I like them. It's very simple. It's a very simple formula, and I like him. He said really nice things about me and the job we've done in the United States, and very, very powerful. And he won an election in Colombia that, I don't know, some people were surprised because he was a little bit further down the pack, but he won easily last night. He won by, called me at 8:30 in the evening.
So the guy that he's talking about is basically he's kind of a mirror of Bukele. Okay. And Bukele was a mirror of what was the little guy, the little short guy. Could have swore it would be like Danny DeVito playing him or something. Malahi, I think it was President Malahi or something like that. Little it'd be short guy, but he had kind of wild shoulder length hair kind of look, and yeah. So it's like we're watching step by step, country or state by state of South America, because that's if you look at it in its entirety, you know, though it's doled up as countries, their countries are about the size of some of our states, so, or a couple of our states, kind of thing. So I'm seeing this restructuring of the entire southwestern hemisphere. Sorry.
Just to thank me very much. And I said, you ran a great campaign. He's El Tigre, right?
Yeah. And what do you anticipate for the relation with Colombia? Colombia is such an
much better. It'll be better. He's going to be a great president.
Mr. President, are the contractors who did the initial work with the reflecting pool, are they to blame for the current condition, or is it the vandals that you mentioned?
Vandals. You know, we have I think 290, 300 foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. We had people lifting up the basic, some of the, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing. In addition to that, we put brand new, beautiful grass all around. They put these massive letters on the grass. You probably know about that, right? And they said 8647. They probably got that from the dirty cop. Call me. You know he's a dirty cop, don't you? Dirty cop. He's a crooked guy. They destroyed the grass. So that's a big thing. But we're going to get it back very soon.
National Guard and police have been all over the mall. How would these vandals have gotten so close to do something like that?
Do you have any proof of
I
the
mean,
slit?
we didn't have a lot of them then. Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
But do you have proof of that? That they
Yeah,
used the
yeah,
knife?
yeah.
Do you have photos or video?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof? You think that's
The
proof?
reporters have been down there today looking for that slit that you mentioned, and
Well,
there's no
just-
evidence of
All
it.
you'd have to do is see the Parks Department. They'll show it to you. Or see the secretary. But I saw it. They cut it. They cut it very violently. The same thing with the floor. They cut it. And then they lifted it. They pulled it. And that's what it is. And, you know, we've done over 50 monuments. Number one, we start with, this is now a safe city. It's as safe a city as you're going to get in the country. And when I came here, it was a very dangerous city. And number two, what we did is the beautification with the parks and the grass and everything, removal of all the tents. And this is like a different place. One of the things we did is over 50 fountains and statues, most of which were in horrible shape. All of them were bad, but some were just absolutely horrible. Graffiti, you couldn't even see the stone. They've all been fixed. We also fixed the reflecting pool. In fact, if you go over there right now, it looks very good. It's up. Somebody said fertilizer in the water. If you put fertilizer in the water, you get algae. But somebody said they might have put fertilizer. They did something to create the algae, but that doesn't matter because that's been purified. It's dead. Laying at the bottom, they're taking it out. They vacuum it out. They vacuum it very carefully out. And it'll be back to health pretty soon. We're going to have to let the water out to fix there's two little areas, very little areas where they were cut. And we'll fix that, but it's not leaking or anything. It's got a base underneath.
Part of what's curious about this situation is we stood here with you in April when you first revealed the plans.
I said what?
In April, when you showed us pictures
Yeah.
of what you were going to do at the pool, and you said you had a guy who was going to do it in a week for about $1 million.
Well,
It's been 2 months and $16.5 million.
Yeah, okay, ready? Barack Hussein Obama, have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He spent 2 years and over $100 million on trying to fix it. You know what happened to it? Never even opened.
Right.
He took the water from the river. You know about that, right? It turned out to be putrid, and it destroyed the whole thing. Spent over $100 million. Him and Biden together spent $147 million. You know what happened? Never opened. You don't mention that, right?
But to Philip's
We spent about 10. Much of the money we spent are park workers. They're there whether they do this or not, as you know. They work in the park, and they're very good workers. They did a great job. So they were going to spend $300 to $400 million. You know that, and it was going to take 4 years. I spent about 6-7 weeks, and I spent probably in terms of outside, probably $10 million, around 10 million. They say 16, but a lot of that's workers that work for the same thing. So they were going to spend 400 million. I spent 10. They were going to spend 4 years. I spent 2 months, maybe less. And I have a better product. Now, I can't help it if somebody goes in with a knife and starts hacking it up. And we also have pictures of it. You know, we have
Can you
pictures.
release the photos? We've been
No, at the
asking
right
for that.
time, you'll see it. You'll see it in court. You'll see it in court. But all you have to do is call the Parks Department. Call the Department of Interior, and I don't know if their lawyers will allow you to speak to them because, you know, you write fake news, but call the Interior Department. And I understand they've arrested 5 people and they have another 5 people that are under investigation. Here's the bottom line. We made so much progress in this city. People don't even recognize it. By the way, Memphis, Tennessee, crime is down 78% in a matter of months. It was a hellhole. New Orleans, crime is down 79%. And they had Mardi Gras. It was the safest Mardi Gras they've had in 50 years. The governor called me. Governor Landry called me. Safest Mardi Gras they've had in, and by the way, Chicago, which is a shooting field right now, if the governor would call me, Governor Pritzker would call me, I would solve the Chicago problem. In 3-4 months, you'd have virtually a crime-free city. We'll remove all of the bad ones. You have criminals. You have career criminals that came in through the border because of Sleepy Joe Biden. You ever hear of Sleepy Joe Biden? Do you ever hear of him? He let people come into this country, and we can never forget that that happened. Guys like you should never forget that that happened. They were murderers, drug dealers, mental patients. They took them out of prisons. They took them out of mental institutions. You should never forget that that happened.
Mr. President, you're
Let's
meeting.
leave on a nicer note.
You're meeting with NATO's Mark Rutte on Wednesday.
Good.
You've had Secretary Hegseth review U.S. presence
I
in
did.
NATO countries.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that conversation. Are you planning
Well,
on
look,
drawing
look,
down U.S.
NATO.
troops?
It's NATO, basically, the question. So we have been a great member of NATO, in many ways, certainly the predominant member. We paid trillions of dollars over the years, not billions, trillions over the years to protect Europe. When we wanted to know, we didn't need any help at all. I was more curious than anything else. So I said to Pete, let's see if they'd actually come. So we asked them to come, and they weren't there for us. So we spent, it's stupid that they weren't. By the way, Starmer wasn't there. And you know what? The people of the UK did not like it that he wasn't there. Starmer said no. Starmer said worse than no. He said, we'll be there as soon as you win. I said, we don't need you as soon as we win. Before I went in, we called him. He said, oh, wow, we'll be there. This was not Winston Churchill we're dealing with, that I can tell you. But Starmer said, we'll be there, right, Pete? As soon as we win. As soon as we win, they're going to come and help us. Okay. But you know what? Italy was very bad. Italy was very bad. And other countries, Germany was very bad. So we spent all of this money, probably 600, I think we spent 600 billion a year, right? I would say that. I think the real number, think of that. The numbers that we spend are so crazy for NATO, and they weren't there for us. So I say to Pete, and I say to everybody else, if we're spending all of this money, just hundreds of millions of dollars to protect them from Russia, mostly. Okay, so we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars a year. You know, the case could be made that we spent all of the money over the years before me. I cut it back. But listen, we spend all of this money, and then when we want to maybe have help on small stuff, this is small time. This is not the big one. This is small potatoes. They say no, would rather not help. Stupid thing to say, because we can say that to them if we want, and we might.
It's the 1-year anniversary of Operation Midnight Hammer. If you could go back in time, is there anything you would do differently?
No.
Nothing at all?
It's the most successful attack that anyone's ever seen with a bomber that totally wiped out their nuclear potential. If we didn't do that, you'd have no Israel right now. Israel would not exist, and most of the Middle East would not exist. They were 2 weeks away from having a nuclear weapon. If we wouldn't have done that, Pete, they would have had a nuclear weapon. You want to say something about that?
Yes, sir. I wasn't aware it was 1 year, but you don't have the situation we have now, a position of strength where Iran's going to give up their nuclear program without Midnight Hammer, which no other country on planet Earth could remotely conceivably pull off that from start to finish, 37 hours back and forth. Iran never saw it, and every precision munition that only we make, hit exactly where we wanted it to, because
they knew we were coming, and they could do nothing.
They could do nothing about it with their air defenses, which are even further now degraded. And that's what everyone misses in the press, and the president's right to call it fake news, because the overwhelming military victory that has been had over Iran is what has set the conditions for them to be at the table with our negotiators. And we will ensure, whether it's through a deal or through the War Department, that they never get a nuclear weapon because of this president right here.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys. Thank you, Russ.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
You're fine. See, Biden can't do that. See that, nice signature? Biden can't do that. Oh, look, I'm on camera. I didn't know. Biden can't do that. He used an auto pen. I said, no thanks. Okay? Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Get out. Get out. Get out. I said get out. All of you. Get out. All right. So, let's see. Let's hit the top of the list and see if anything new came out. Yeah. All right. Promethean action. And this is from about 2 hours ago. Here we go. Barbara Boyd.
On his way out the door, Joe Biden issued 2 pardons, one for his son, Hunter, one for Dr. Tony Fauci. And both of them start the clock on the exact same month, January 2014. In the last 11 days, the outgoing director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, has dropped 2 bombshells. First, about 120 secret U.S.-funded labs in 30 countries, 40 of them in Ukraine. Then last Thursday night, the cover-up of where COVID really came from. So here's the question we need to answer by the end of this video. Was COVID a foreseeable accident that a corrupt system just exploited? Or did they build the machinery to ensure it would happen and no one would ever find out who did it? Now, these releases don't just prove a COVID cover-up. They hand you a map of a dangerous biolab empire with one man at its center, Dr. Tony Fauci. This network moved the most dangerous research on Earth beyond the reach of Congress, beyond the courts, beyond you. It gave us the worst pandemic in a century, and it may have been a significant cause of the Ukraine war. I'm Barbara Boyd. I've spent decades tracking how the imperial deep state operates, how it captures institutions, manufactures consensus, and then destroys anyone who challenges it. So I'm going to walk you through these questions. 1, what did Obama actually do in 2014 that set all of this in motion? 2, how did the very man who built this network end up in charge of the investigation into his own crime? And 3, the one that matters most, what was this all actually for? But before we dig in, like and share this video. It is the single biggest thing you can do to beat the blackout on this story. Now, hold that question about pardons. It starts with 2014. Here's the first thing you need to understand. In 2014, the Obama administration banned this research, gain of function, inside the United States. But they didn't end it. They exported it. The same way they exported regime change, the same way they exported surveillance out of Congress's reach, out of the court's reach, out of yours. That October 2014 ban came only after the dangers spilled into the press. Live anthrax shift from a secure CDC lab to an insecure one. Smallpox vials sitting unsecured at NIH. A deadly H5N1 strain mailed to a poultry farm by mistake. Look at this. It's the 2014 USA Today article that caused Obama to move all of this overseas. It's no longer available on their site, but it details the bioterror dangers lurking in America's labs. And every one of the incidents it lays out was the result of gain-of-function research. Now, 2 more things happened in 2014, and that's where our story gets really interesting. First, Tony Fauci handed a big NIH grant to a group called Eco Health Alliance to study bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. And at almost the exact same moment, the Obama and MI6-backed Maidan 2 in Ukraine happened. The intent? Prepare Ukraine for a war with Russia. Coincidence? You're about to see that it wasn't. Eco Health is run by a British scientist named Peter Daszak. Daszak also sat inside a program called PREDICT, run out of UC Davis, funded by USAID. And PREDICT had a partner company you need to know about. It's called Metabiota. Metabiota had already been thrown out of its work in China, and had caused a scandal in Sierra Leone for shockingly lax safety during the Ebola outbreak. So watch this swap. EcoHealth replaced Metabiota in China, and then Metabiota went to Ukraine. Gabbard's releases showed that across Ukraine, former Soviet bioweapons labs were being upgraded starting in 2014 under a Pentagon program originally meant to keep nuclear and biological material out of terrorist hands. The lead Pentagon contractor in Ukraine for this? Guess what? Metabiota. And on Hunter Biden's laptop is a memo to him from Metabiota's vice president. It reads, as promised, I prepared the attached memo, which provides an overview of Metabiota, our engagement in Ukraine, and how we can potentially leverage our team, networks, and concepts to assert Ukraine's cultural and economic independence from Russia and continued integration into Western society. Isn't that very strange language for a company that's supposed to be studying viruses? And Hunter went on to raise millions for those Ukraine biolabs. And now those two pardons start to make sense. Both of them began in 2014. Hunter's runs through January 2014 to January 2024. Fauci's runs from January 2014 right up to the minute Donald Trump was sworn in. Ask yourself, if none of this was a crime, why does the protection start the exact year the network was born? If those pieces are starting to lock together for you, that's exactly what we try to do here every time we publish. You'll get a lot more of it in our free newsletter, the link's in the description. So now you've got the machine. Fauci, Daszak, Metabiota, Wuhan, Ukraine, all of it wired together by Pentagon money and Obama's 2014 operations. And here's where it turns criminal. When the machine produced the worst pandemic in a century, the same man who built it was handed control of the investigation into how it started. Gabbard's Thursday releases do two things at once. They point to a lab origin for the virus, and they document Fauci's cover-up of it. The documents show Fauci's consistent, years-long advocacy for gain-of-function research. But they open with something stunning. A May 2020 assessment from Lawrence Livermore's Z program, the unit that evaluates advanced weapon threats, including bioweapons, for the intelligence community, a group which has access to everything. Their finding, the Wuhan lab fit every single criterion for an accidental release of an engineered coronavirus capable of infecting human beings. Now, the document is heavily redacted, and it points to a separate classified CIA analysis. Remember, it had already been reported that intercepts and satellite imagery caught unusual activity at Wuhan health activities as early as November 2019, and that lab workers had fallen ill. Then, in 2021, the Intercept got a hold of a 2018 proposal Peter Daszak had sent to DARPA. It's kind of a smoking gun. It proposed engineering exactly the kind of virus that swept through the world in 2019. DARPA said no, but later FOIA work showed the research was slated for Wuhan, a lab nowhere near safe enough for it, and may have continued under Fauci's grant anyway. Put it together and the picture is hard to escape. A foreseeable leak of an engineered virus from Fauci's own contractors. Hold that word, foreseeable. We're coming back to it. Here's what Fauci did next. The bulk of these disclosures show him brought into the Biden administration's COVID origins analysis investigation as the lead expert. He had extended conversations with Biden's CIA and DNI, telling them who to call, what to cite, all of it steering toward natural origin and away from the lab. When whistleblowers flagged the obvious conflict of interest, their complaints were buried. One of those buried complaints, that Fauci had lied to Congress when he swore NIH never funded gain-of-function work at Wuhan. And the documents prove he lied to Congress a second time in 2024. Congressman Wenstrup asked Fauci flat out at this hearing whether he's ever discussed viruses with U.S. intelligence.
But did you at any time talk to concerning viral research of any kind?
Again, I say that at the time that there was concern about the fact that Al Qaeda may have been using or potentially using bioweapons, we had discussions with intelligence agencies about that possibility.
But not as related to, say, COVID-19.
Not to my knowledge about COVID.
So the man who built the network ran the cover-up and lied about it twice under oath, which leaves the biggest question of all still open. What was this whole thing for? 40 labs in Ukraine alone. Gain-of-function work on pathogens that kill half the people they infect. A pandemic that killed millions and handed the world's would-be planners the exact emergency they'd been waiting for. That's not a string of accidents, that's a program. So what was the program for? Start with Ukraine. The Russians were complaining about dangerous U.S. biolabs on their border before the 2022 invasion. Think about it. COVID had already happened. Gain of function was clearly going on. Those complaints were waved away as propaganda, even though the Russian government named them as part of the reason for going to war. Gabbard's June 12th release confirms 40 U.S.-funded labs in Ukraine, some doing gain-of-function work, many permitted for the most dangerous pathogens on Earth. One project involved a strain of avian influenza with a 50% human fatality rate. The Odessa Labs inventory included anthrax, chalyumia, tuberculosis, MERS, SARS, Marburg, Ebola, Lassa, plague. Now widen the lens. COVID just didn't kill millions. It brought police state mandates, lockdowns, forced vaccines. And it was the pretext to rewrite election law across the United States, opening the door to the mail-in voting fraud, which happened in the 2020 election. And over at globalist headquarters, the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab and then Prince Charles announced that the pandemic was the opportunity for a great reset of their entire system. Charles's father, Prince Philip, had once said he wanted to be reincarnated as a deadly virus to deal with what he called human overpopulation. Let that one sit for a second. Their world is one of radical environmentalism, a technocratic police state, transhumanism, where no individual and no sovereign nation can escape the dictates of the experts. Experts like Mr. Science itself, Tony Fauci. That's what we lived through under Biden. That's what's still playing out across Europe, Canada, and the UK right now. So here's the answer I promised you. Accident or design? It's both. And that's the part they're counting on you to miss. The leak was foreseeable. Every safety line was crossed, and the proof is in the pardons. You don't pardon an accident. The protection begins in January 2014, the same year Obama banned the research, the same year the Maidan coup detonated in Ukraine, the same year the first dollars flowed to Wuhan. Tulsi Gabbard has done the nation an enormous service. So have the whistleblowers and, for once, the Congress. The Justice Department has already indicted Fauci's senior advisor, David Warrens, for conspiring with Peter Daszak to bury the truth. But the full scope of what they were trying to build through COVID, that's what still needs to be fully exposed. But make no mistake about the documents actually prove this was foreseeable, it was offshored on purpose, and it was shielded almost before the fact. Break the blackout. Share this video. That's how it reaches the people who want to keep it buried. And if you can, help us do more of this work at PrometheanAction.com. I'm Barbara Boyd. This has been your Monday Update. Thanks for listening.
Please take a moment and subscribe to our free newsletter at PrometheanAction.com.
Now, personally, I think these ladies do a phenomenal job. Both her and Susan Kokinda, along with Jeff Mayer, I think his name is. They put together a lot of great. But so that's where I'm going to call it for today. I'm a little tired now. We've been going for almost 3 hours. So yeah, that's where we got to today. I hope that you got something out of today's information, and again, remember why I do what I do. Remember, God loves you, Jesus loves you, and I love you. And yeah, let's build a legacy of peace, right? Let's do that. Is it going to work? Take you out with this one today. Oh, I forgot I muted because I had to go to the channel.
Legacy isn't leaving proof that
I had to leave the channel in order to type something into the chat because I was trying to say it and it wouldn't let me say it, and that's when I finally just stopped the video and said, hey, this whole thing with Lutnick, I wanted to be able to answer that question, but this is why I'm trying to be here as often as I can and why I write what I write. Here we go.
legacy isn't leaving proof that you suffered. It's leaving proof that suffering didn't get the final word. Every song I write isn't about staying in the past. It's about helping somebody else see what was hidden in plain sight and learning that we can become better humans than the ones who hurt us. Then, legacy of peace. I'm an old man now with stories in my hands, pages that were written where a frightened child once stands. Moved from town to town, carrying a heavy load, learning how to walk 1,000 miles on broken roads. Some folks ask me why I open up those doors, why dust off memories and lay them on the floor. It's not to stay imprisoned in the things I've been through. It's to shine a little light for someone passing through. I don't sing to relive the pain. I sing so truth can break the chains. I sing for people who've never known what hides behind a quiet home. If one soul learns to see what was standing in front of me, then every scar has found its place, leaving a legacy of peace. A child can carry burdens far too heavy for his years and still grow into someone who can rise above his fears. You don't have to become the hands that caused you harm. You can build a safer world with open hands and open arms. The world may never know the roads that some folks walked, or understand the silence and the words we never talked. So I gather up my memories and lay them in a song to remind another heart they're stronger than they know. I don't sing to relive the pain. I sing so truth can break the chains. I sing for people who've never known what hides behind a quiet home. If one soul learns to see what was standing in front of me, and every scar has found its place, leaving a legacy of peace. I don't want my name remembered for every storm I had to face. I want my songs to keep reminding love can still outrun the hate. The little boy I used to be still walks beside the man you see. And every day we both decide to leave more peace than pain behind. I don't sing because I'm broken. I sing because the truth was spoken. I sing so younger hearts may know. Compassion is the way we grow. We endure, we learn, we teach. We build a bridge for those we reach. And when my voice is finally gone, may peace continue carrying on. Every song, every word, every grace, leaving a legacy of peace.
Woke up this morning to a world on fire. Everybody shouting, climbing walls of wire. Fear on the TV, lies across the screen. Hard to know these days what anything means. But I hear my Father's voice down in my soul. Stand up straight, don't let the darkness take control. Love your neighbor, hold the line, stay alive. Open up your eyes and let your spirit drive. Don't let the noise pull you under. Don't lose your heart in the thunder. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes on the light. There's still love in the middle of the fight tonight. When the road gets narrow and the world feels cold, keep your heart wide open and never let go. Keep your head on a swivel, but your soul on the rise. There's a whole lot of beauty still left in these eyes. Yeah, the world may shake, but we're not gonna break. We were born for more than survival. Little old lady waving from a porch swing. Kids on the sidewalk still learning to dream. Somebody praying in the middle of pain. Somebody dancing in the pouring rain. There's still good people helping strangers stand. Still working hard with calloused hands. Still holding family, still holding faith. Still finding hope when it all feels late. Don't let the fear define you. There's still a fire inside you. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes on the light. There's still love in the middle of the fight tonight. When the road gets narrow and the world feels cold, keep your heart wide open and never let go. Keep your head on a swivel, but your soul on the rise. There's a whole lot of beauty still left in these eyes. Yeah, the world may shake, but we're not gonna break. We were born for more than survival. Oh, don't forget who you are. You were made from the dust and the stars. Oh, even when shadows fall, love is still the strongest thing of all. Keep your head on a swivel, don't lose your grace. Every scar tells a story, every soul has a place. And if somebody stumbles, you help them stand tall. That's the kind of strength that can heal us all. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your faith alive. There's still hope for tomorrow as long as we try. Yeah, the world may change, but love remains, and that's how we survive. Keep your head.
It ain't me, it's my neighbor Ruppler. Yeah. It ain't me, it's my neighbor Lipper. My neighbor Jim wakes up mad at the news. Coffee in his hand, but he's already stewing. Shaking his head at the morning TV. Talking about the world like it's all tragedy. Every little headline sets him off track. By lunchtime, he's ready for a full-on rant. I just wave and say, hey man, how you been? He just mumbles something about it all again. I ain't here to fight, I ain't picking no scene. But man, the guy's wound tighter than I've ever seen. Dipper, my neighbor's got TDS. He's in a mess. Every single day, just a whole lot of stress. I'm just on the porch with a cold iced tea, watching him argue with his own TV limit. He's fired up, I'm kicked back, feeling blessed, laughing at the noise while I'm getting my rest. If you need me, I'll be right here chilling free, while my neighbor's fighting imaginary enemy. He's scrolling all night, barely getting sleep, arguing online with a meme from No 3. Caps lock stuck and his comments fly. Meanwhile, I'm just watching clouds roll by. He said, man, how can you stay so calm? I said, turn it off, come sit on the lawn. Sun still shining, world still spins. Might even crack a smile if you let it in. He shook his head like I just don't see. I said, buddy, maybe you just need less TV. But nah, my neighbor's got TDS. He's in a mess. Every little thing just a test of stress. I'm just grilling burgers in the summer heat while he's yelling at headlines down the street. He's fired up, I'm kicked back, feeling blessed. Life's a whole lot better with a little less press. If you need me, I'll be right here chilling free, while my neighbor's fighting imaginary enemies. Now Jim's a good guy, don't get me wrong, just been tuned in way too long. Channel after channel, same old spin, got his head all tied up in a knot again. I said, come on over, take a break tonight, we'll laugh a little, maybe see some light. He said, no, I gotta stay informed. I said, man, you look a little stormed, but my neighbor's got TDS. He's in a mess, I wish he traded in for a little less stress. I'm just living life with a smile on me, ain't no headline gonna steal my peace. He's fired up, I'm kicked back, feeling blessed. Sometimes less noise is the real success. If you need me, I'll be right here chilling free, and hoping one day come sitting with me. Yeah, he'll come around, I'll save him a chair.